Okay, so I've been meaning to make a video for quite some time now, based around mesh ops. This will be basically a pixelated sphere. I'll be using a radial fall off to smash it apart, basically, or give the impression. So you'll have various elements as the fall off goes through the sphere. There'll be rotations and scaling going on. But I'm just going to go through the setup process. I'm not going to talk too much. I might just stop the odd word as I'm going. But basically everything's going to be procedural. The only first part of it is when I've created an array of cubes, you have to freeze it almost straight away, because if you have a background layer and then you sort of freeze that layer you want to work with, so the huge array of items, my modo just crashes all the time on that particular instance. Has been raised. Hopefully it'll be solved in the future. But for now, I'm going to create the array, I'll freeze, and then I'll do a little bit of talking. Okay. So, Control Enter when I enter point 1, so it's 100 mils. Okay. Turn my UVs off, might speed up a bit. And then array. Again, going to array generator, point 1, Control Enter. And then I want to do 20 by 20 by 20. Okay, right. Duplicate and freeze. Bam, worked. Okay, brilliant. So now I'm just going to add a primitive, and that's going to be the sphere. Just going to eyeball this. So in item mode, move the ball into position. I'm just going to go into wireframe, and I'll be happy with that. You won't get this continuous or sort of symmetrical look to this, I don't think, but you can if you place it dead center of this item mode. Okay, so I'm going to select the cubes, go back to my default mode, geometry, polygon, no, boolean, solid drill. I'm going to create a stencil, and I'm going to call it cut. Okay, so now that's drilled into all these cubes, the sphere bit. So what we're going to do is go to info and stats, polygons, material, select cut, and then I'm going to select all, I can't remember what you call it, select connected. So keyboard and close bracket, and then I'm going to invert the selection, so open bracket and then delete. Okay, pretty cool. Not perfect, but doesn't matter. Now there has been some Octree commands on Pixel Fondue recently, but I find it very hit and miss. So I did a jet recently, and the wing area, the volume seemed to be a bit off, so I had overlapping cubes. This method doesn't produce that. But for this example, this is what we're going to work with. So the sphere we don't need anymore, it's just the mesh now, this mesh item. We're going to go to local mode. I'm going to press R to scale, and then we're going to scale everything down to, so only my F2 box, to 0%. Control Enter, and then geometry, vertex, merge. Now for some reason automatic doesn't seem to work for me, so I'm going to go fixed 1 mil, turn off merge discontinuous, press OK. So 38,000 vertices are merged. Now we go to point mode. Brilliant. Right, now we can load up our previous mesh, delete the array, and also, just as a nicety, I'll just round it off a little bit. So 10 mil. Okay, and then I'm going to add a replicator. And then the prototype is going to be, I normally name this, sorry, so that is going to be cube. And the point source, just make sure it is, yeah, there it is. I quite lazily just PTS points. So go to the replicator, prototype is cube, and the point source is PTS. And there we have our cubes. Zen is brilliant for this. So schematic view, I'm going to add my replicator. Just double click these bits. That's that. Right, the point source I'm going to take away. I'm going to add a particle modifier. Points goes into particle source, and then particle modifier goes into replicator particle source. Now, if I alter these values, it has an effect. Pretty cool. So, all I'm going to do for this instance is I'm going to set everything to 0. I'm going to plug it in a radial fall off. Okay. We don't need that cube on show. I'm just going to move that into so now the radial is affecting the cubes, which is pretty cool. But if you muck around with solid core, you can really have a dense cutaway. So just go to my advanced mode. I think I might have viewport textures enabled. No, that's it. It just takes a little while. It's an old Mac I'm working on. And yeah, that's it pretty much. I'll just have some random rotation. Oh, silly. Not on there, on the particle modifier. So 360 across the board, and now, and sound effects included. Yes, it's pretty cool. So now you can change the radial fall off. And do what you want, basically. Don't forget to use that solid core. Sometimes it can be really helpful. So now, recently my animated logo uses this sort of effect. But if you want a bit more sort of randomness, switch that on. And that's it for now.